Pavel Durov, the founder and CEO of the popular messaging app Telegram, has reportedly been arrested yesterday at Le Bourget airport in Paris, France. So what's going on here? Well, it appears that the new Orwellian speech Nazis of the West didn't like that he was refusing to censor his users. So to dive into this story more, let's pull up an article from Newsweek published last night. They write, Russian-born Telegram founder reportedly detained in France, what we know. Pavel Durov, the Russian-born billionaire founder and CEO of the messaging app Telegram, was reportedly detained by French authorities on Saturday evening. According to Reuters, citing French media outlets TF1 TV and BFM TV, Durov was arrested upon arrival in his private jet at Le Bourget airport outside Paris. The tech entrepreneur was allegedly targeted by an arrest warrant as part of a preliminary police investigation. I'll bet he was. Newsweek contacted the French Interior Ministry and Telegram via online forum on Saturday for comment. The investigation reportedly centers on Telegram's alleged lack of content moderation. French authorities claim this deficiency has potentially allowed criminal activities to flourish unchecked on the popular messaging platform, which boasts over 900 million active users globally and is known for its strong encryption and commitment to user privacy, which is part of the big draw of the platform. People understand that the government is trying to find out what they're saying, doing, and thinking, and they don't like it. Now, the app is extremely influential in Russia and Ukraine, as well as ranked as one of the major social media platforms after Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, and TikTok. These features have made Telegram popular among those seeking secure communication channels, including activists, journalists, and dissidents in authoritarian countries. However, these same attributes have drawn criticism from governments and law enforcement agencies who argue that the platform can be exploited by criminal elements. See, this is how totalitarian governments always do this. The excuse consistently is that there is some sort of criminal behavior or so-called misinformation that poor old little government needs to stop from happening so the good citizens of the world don't get the wrong idea or are not exposed to bad people. It's always for the greater good. Sure it is. Every fascist government, every communist regime, every totalitarian empire always tells their slave population that what they are doing with their censorship and the, slaughtering of their innocent people is for the greater good. No matter how many people they harm, no matter how many people they censor, it's always a good thing. Yes, we need to censor, sure. But those who enforce censorship like this almost always end up turning out to be the real bad guys or the real evil behind the scenes. And as we have now seen, the European Union and the UK governments have shown us in recent days that they intend and are hell-bent at instilling fear and domination to all that they can reach. In fact, it was less than 2 weeks ago that I covered here on this channel the European Union censorship czar was demanding that Elon Musk censor himself and his interview with Donald Trump. Take a look at this. In a letter addressed to tech billionaire Elon Musk on Monday ahead of his planned uncensored interview with former President Donald Trump, Thierry Breton, the European Commission's chief censorship czar, threatened to deploy all powers available to him under the Digital Services Act, or the DSA, against X if the U.S. presidential candidate breaches EU restrictions on speech. I am writing to you in the context of recent events in the United Kingdom and in this relation to the planned broadcast on your platform X of a live conversation between a U.S. presidential candidate and yourself, which will also be accessible to users in the EU, the French Eurocrat opened in his letter to Musk. Breton said that because the Trump interview will be broadcast live throughout the EU on X, Brussels will monitor the dissemination of content that may incite violence, hate, and racism in conjunction with major political or societal events around the world, including debates and interviews in the context of elections. Now, who does this little nobody think he is? Hate speech? Incitement? Sounds like we got another person with TDS or Trump derangement syndrome. Anyway, they go on to write, the EU censorship chief demanded, therefore, that X implement mitigation measures against the amplification of harmful content that may generate detrimental effects on civic discourse and public security in Europe. Breton claimed that social media had fomented the recent anti-mass migration riots and protests in the UK following the mass stabbing at a children's dance party in Southport last month, and thus demanded restrictions be put in place on X during the Trump interview and other major world events. And then we have the UK government recently threatening non-citizens on social media, specifically the influencers, with prosecution if they dared to say things that the UK government didn't like.
We will throw the full force of the law at people. And whether you're in this country committing crimes on the streets or committing crimes from further afield online, we will come after you.
Talk to me about that, because we have seen some high-profile figures whipping up the hatred. You talked about it in there with the officers, in fact, about this being added to by online commentary. I mean, I'm even thinking of the likes of Elon Musk getting involved. What are you considering when it comes to dealing with people who are whipping up this kind of behaviour from behind a keyboard, maybe in a different country?
Being a keyboard warrior does not make you safe from the law. You can be guilty of offences of incitement, of stirring up racial hatred. There are numerous terrorist offences regarding the sort of publishing of material. All of those offences are in play if people are provoking hatred and violence on the streets, and we will come after those individuals just as we will physically confront on the streets the thugs and the obs who are causing the problems for communities.
So this takes us back to the Pavel Durov story and Newsweek. They continue to write, Durov's journey to becoming one of the most influential figures in the tech industry is as intriguing as it is controversial. Born in Russia, he first gained prominence as the founder of VK, often referred to as the Russian Facebook. However, his refusal to comply with authoritarian demands, I added the authoritarian part there, to shut down opposition communities on the platform led to his departure from Russia in 2014. Durov currently lives in Dubai and holds a dual citizenship of the United Arab Emirates and France. This clash with authorities over free speech and privacy issues has been a recurring theme in Durov's career. In an interview with Tucker Carlson in April of this year, Durov shed light on his experiences with government pressure, not just from Russia, but also from the United States. Isn't it amazing that he managed to escape getting arrested and thrown in jail by Russia for not censoring people, and instead it would end up being the West that would arrest this man for refusing to censor his people, his users on his platform. Amazing, isn't it? Anyway, they write, the tech founder alleged that the US government had attempted to create a backdoor into Telegram, potentially to spy on its users. There's no potentially about this. 100% this was about spying on the users. What are we talking about here? There's only one reason they would do that. According to Durov, FBI agents approached one of his engineers in an attempt to persuade them to integrate certain open source tools into Telegram's code that could serve as backdoors. These people are scum. Now, Durov's allegations against the US government extends beyond the alleged backdoor attempt. He recounted instances of FBI agents greeting him at airports and even showing up at his rented house during breakfast. While Durov acknowledged that the agents were just doing their job, he expressed discomfort with the level of attention Telegram was receiving from US authorities. Just doing their job, my butt. I'm sorry. What garbage is this? Anyway, the Newsweek article goes on to write, the tech CEO has also claimed to have received conflicting letters from members of Congress following the January 6 riots at the U.S. Capitol. One letter reportedly requested data on Telegram users allegedly involved in the riots, while another warned against sharing any such data. Durov stated that Telegram chose to ignore both requests due to the complexity of U.S. internal politics. The timing of the incident is particularly noteworthy, coming at a moment when countries are grappling with how to regulate social media and messaging platforms. Translation, this is coming at a time when many countries are grappling with how to censor social media and messaging platforms, how to control their people and control the flow of information. There, fixed your article. The European Union, they write, for instance, has recently implemented the Digital Services Act, which imposes new obligations on large tech companies to police illegal content on their platforms. France, as a key member of the EU, has been at the forefront of efforts to hold tech companies accountable for content shared on their platforms. This way, the Orwellian governments can maintain control and do evil, bad things, and the people of the country won't be able to find out about it. That's the purpose. That is the reason for this. Anyway, to wrap up the article, they write, as news of Durov's reported detention spreads, Telegram users around the world are watching closely to see how the situation unfolds. The platform has become an essential communication tool for many, and any disruption to its operations could have far-reaching consequences, and that's for damn sure. I still can't get over the fact that it wasn't Russia that ended up arresting this guy over their censorship plans, but the European Union. It is incredible to watch just how far the European Union has fallen, the UK government has fallen, and even here in the US, our moves towards totalitarian censorship is alive and well. Honestly, Stalin would be pleased. Communism, socialism, totalitarianism is everywhere now in the West. What in the world happened? In any case, my friends, we're going to keep watching what is happening from here on out, and I will certainly keep you posted as updates become available. From the To Be Frank show, my friends, thanks for watching. I am Adrian, and I will see you all next time.